Hi, Brandon Artison, President of Champion Strategies, with our ongoing series on public workshop. We were at a point on the last video talking about tips that can help you crush your next presentation, and we just want to pick off from where we left off, reminding you that during your speech, doing all of the prep work should help you feel ready, and confident, and at least more than you would otherwise. Here's how you can keep helping yourself in the moment. You've probably heard in sports about zone, getting in a zone. Well, any entertainer, anyone who's in front of a crowd, comedian, person of the cloth, we have to get into that zone before we address the audience. Put your game face on, get prepared, however you want to look at it. But I would say for about 10 minutes before you get on stage to give a talk, why don't you go somewhere where it's quiet? Don't talk to anyone else anymore. Drink some water, lay down, kneel down, sit down, and start using expressions to create possibility. You're going to nail this. This is in the hand. Let me start carving out some time because they're going to want me to come back to talk to more of their people, or better yet, train their people on the things that I'm getting ready to say. Now, by doing these things, you're getting into focus of how you want the audience to see you. It may take some time limit to find out the things that help you lead up, whether the night before, the day before, the moments before. If you're not sure where to start to get into this zone, once again, look up some sports analogies, look up some sports heroes, and you can see, watch, or hear what they do before they start their big exam, if you will. See if these things, or if at least one of those things, you can say, I can see myself doing that, because you'll only get better. Another thing, don't bury your face in your notes. I don't understand why people get in front of folks saying that they're going to do a speech, and after the introductions are over with, they part their head and look down at their notes and never look up again. Notes are like a crutch. So you start to rely on them more and more and more and more. But it's more important to connect with the audience, making eye contact with the audience, having a true conversation with the audience. Find a way to break away from the notes. If you have to, just bullet points of what you want to talk about is a good start. Because if something happens to those notes, if those notes get disarray or out of place, and please don't have any AV like a PowerPoint, now you're going to be all over the place. I look at notes as ways of really blocking who you are in your torso, because your eyes are drawn down to the notes. The people in the audience, all they see is you reading from the notes and you ignoring them. So just think about that. Make eye contact. Yes, I know you probably heard it all different ways, but in public speaking, eye contact is king. It helps you connect with the audience. It's the most effective way when you focus on one person at a time. I don't care if it's left, center, right, or in the back. Direct eye contact with one person, then move to another person. Let me go and cover this side of the room by looking at one person, but eye contact. They came to see you. You're the star of the story. And please remember to use pauses. Well designed pauses, like comedians do a lot, people will tend to get it. Now, the reason why for the pauses is that when you speak and we're trying to listen and break down, it's going to take us a few extra seconds to actually get the thought, to actually get the idea, to actually get what you're saying up there. So when you really have a big chunk of knowledge that you want to shock them with, or something that you really want them to leave that auditorium and go implement, if you want them to leave that Zoom meeting and they're engaged to go and say, well, I can't do everything, but I like that piece there, that's when you've done your job. But many times we get too technical. Take a breath, take a pause, tell them a story, give them an example, paint them a picture of how what you just said in layman's terms really works. One of my idols of the past always said, just make it plain. That's all. The plainer that you can keep it, the better off it is for not only you, but for the audience. Once again, Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, with our ongoing workshop on public speaking. Finishing up another section. We still got one more to do on this important topic that someone sent me in an email form. And all they want to do is get better in their comfortable way of public speaking. If some of this makes sense, and I hope it does, be back for the next broadcast. But as I always say in leaving, going out there and making it.